Hi everyone, and welcome to kind of like a new series that I'm doing where I'm kind of doing like a stock battle between two stocks that are very similar. I'm going to do Activision versus EA today, obviously, and then after that one, I've got one more video planned where I'm going to do Visa versus MasterCard. But as always, if there's any kind of battle stock wars that you want me to do, just put in the comments and then I'll have a look and I'll see if I can do that one. Because obviously some companies I don't really know that well and I won't always have the time to research into that company. But if it's something I can do, then I will try and do it. So Activation versus EA are two companies that I know really well. I've never owned shares in either. I don't own any shares now. And right off, I'll probably get through the video and say a few things, but right now I wouldn't have any plans to own any of these two companies unless there was a kind of like a 10% correction on them. Then potentially if there was, I could potentially go in either one, but it's not kind of a company that I would be holding long term, which I'll get onto why in a bit, but I'll tell you at the end of the video which is my favourite stock if I was to own one. So Activision and EA both make video games. Both have quite big titles. Activision on a yearly basis releases a game called Call of Duty, and EA have quite a number of titles. A lot of sport titles EA own, and as well as sport titles, recently they had another game of Star Wars Battlefront. Always bring quite a few Star Wars games out. So they both own quite big titles in general. At the moment of recording this video, obviously there might be a little bit of movement. Activision sits at $72 per share and EA sits at $127 per share. So that's kind of like nearly double. EA's nearly double of Activision. If you look into the PE ratios, PE for this one, Activision is 49, which is slightly high. Obviously anything kind of really over 30 is a little bit too high. And on EA's side we have a PE of 39, which is 10 less PE than Activision. So obviously straight off, even though it's a little bit more money for a share, we're seeing EA, even though it's a little bit more, we're having a better PE ratio right there. So we'll go into details of earnings per share. So at the moment Activision has an earning per share of 6.62 forecast for this year, and next year 3.02, which is kind of a good steady jump over the course of them 2 years from 2018 to 2019. If we're looking long term, because that's what we do on this channel, it's kind of long term stock holds, that's a gain of 15.2%, so nice healthy double digit growth right there on earnings per share, which is really attractive. On EA we're on double the earning per share, pretty much, which is 4.27, and 2019 we're looking at a $5 per share for EA, which is a really good one. Same again, kind of getting near the double range on that one. So Activision's will be a 15.2 increase, EA will be a 17.09 increase. So overall, the earnings per shares, EA does have a better earnings per share than Activision. So as well as having the better PE, it also has a better earnings per share over the next coming year to 2 years. And last of all, we're going to talk about sales. Sales right now for Activision are for the forecast for this year, 2018, is 7.5 billion, and then going into 2019 is 8.1 billion. Going on to EA, on sales we've got 5.25 billion, and then we're going into 5.6 billion. So the sales are a little bit less for EA compared to Activision, even though it's a bit more expensive stock. But EA do make more profit than what Activision do, even though the revenue's better on Activision. Activision's increase will be 9.0%, and on EA we've got an increase of 17.69%. So we're seeing kind of really a bigger growth by 1.5% on Activision on their revenue sales, which obviously it's better for Activision on that point of view, but there's not much different. And that's kind of like one point as well where I'm not kind of like investing in it, is that the actual growth isn't in double digit. And one point that I didn't make at the start of the video actually as well is that EA are kind of a bit more into like the sports in this gaming side of it. So at the moment we're seeing a lot of competitions, esports, where it's actually getting filmed, and this is kind of getting really popular. We're seeing EA drive into that sector a lot more than Activision as well, which is like the next big sector for these two to be getting into. So that's another thing with EA. So overall really, I'd say EA is a better company to be investing in. But if I was to choose in any of these stocks, I think there's better tech stocks out there. As you know, I could have put Take-Two into this video, but I think it would have confused things having a freeway kind of stock battle. But Take-Two at the moment is, from my point of view, is more undervalued than these two, which I'd be more interested in going into, which I have done, which I'm holding for a little bit. For these two, they just don't have the growth which I would like in the next 2 years. So guys, that's the end of the video today. EA the winner, but overall not two stocks that I personally invest in. Give the video a like, comment if you want me to do any kind of battles, and I'll see you on the next video.